Hi, Omar. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So today we are here with another exciting episode of our
Exactly.
podcast, corporate tax series, of course. And from our previous episode, by that time when we were recording that, so we didn't have a lot of information, around the free zones and the impact of corporate tax on free zone companies. And we've been getting a lot of questions, and you know that how currently it is, and how people are expecting a lot of information on that part, and people want to know about that. So today, that is why we have decided that we will only focus on few things, so that we can continue talking about the corporate tax in our upcoming episodes. I know there is a lot of exciting news, and
Yes,
I'm
there
pretty
are.
sure that you are going to, of course, highlight a couple of things in at the start of our talk. So, what is there now, especially for the freelance companies? So, if I give you an example and ask you a straight question, people who are handling the or doing work, they are freelancers, freelance traders, doing Amazon work. They are serving as media specialist or marketing specialist as a freelancer, and they have their own a small setup. You can call them maybe a sole proprietor or a sole establishment or natural person, of course, right? So in that case, we recently have received some exciting news, of course. I would call that exciting news for
Yeah.
them. So what is that news?
Yes, definitely. It's definitely exciting, and it brings the interest of a lot of people, especially on that particular in that particular part. I really appreciate the entities, the government authority, who actually do a big favor to the very small businesses. You absolutely took it in a very right way, like the sole proprietor, or the freelancers, or people like that who are running the small businesses. So they announce, if you are a sole proprietor or you are a freelancer or running such a business, and you are earning less than a million dirham in a financial year, in a tax period. So if you are earning less than that one, you didn't need to even register your company.
So just to confirm, so a million dirhams or 1 million dirhams worth of revenues, right?
Exactly,
Correct.
exactly.
All right. So basically, if you are earning anything less than or up to 1 million dirhams worth of revenue in 12 months or tax
One
particular
tax
tax
period.
period, I would
Exactly,
say, right?
exactly, exactly.
So you should not be, or you're completely excluded, right?
Yeah. You will not need to register even.
You don't need to
So
register
when
at
you are
all.
not registered, you are not complying any compliance with the
So
tax
there
thing.
is no corporate tax compliance
No,
applicable to
nothing.
such small businesses, of course,
Exactly.
right?
That's a big relief.
It's a big relief, of
Yes.
course, and that means the local government is, or the tax authorities are really concerned about the support level
Exactly.
for these smaller
Yeah.
natural persons, right?
Exactly.
So, it's of course it's a really exciting news. So, but giving few more examples on this part, because these freelancers, a big part of this economy, of course, which includes these
Yes.
freelancers,
Yes.
which includes the small and medium-sized enterprises, or some, large-scale SMEs, I would say. So, in that case, if these kind of setups, this could include e-commerce people, of course, right?
Exactly.
This could include gym trainers. This could include anyone serving different people as a freelancer, of course. Maybe some football trainer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone,
Any
right?
sole proprietor.
Any sole proprietor and
Yeah,
national person.
exactly.
Perfect. So, and by the way, like moving to the next stage, if that revenue exceeds 1 million, so then they have to register, right?
Then they have to register. And you remember, if you remember, in last episode we discussed about the 3 million thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
3 million.
this
Yeah.
will be the same thing. If someone exceed from 1 million, it will be the same as we discussed previously. Till 3 million, it will be the same. But in that case, they have to register.
So that is a difference,
That's
right?
a difference.
That's the
Yes,
catch.
definitely.
So if the revenue is up to 1 million dirhams,
Yeah.
so they don't have to register at all.
Exactly.
But if they exceed 1 million dirhams, and then their revenue is between,
Between
0
one-
to 3 million or
Yeah,
1 to
1 to
3
3
million,
million, it's more
technically.
appropriate, yes.
So they have to register,
Yes.
and they have to file the return.
Exactly.
But they will be excluded technically from paying the corporate tax.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Great.
But there is one very important thing. This is specifically for the sole proprietors and those companies. If you look into the other formulation of the company, like non-qualifying free zone companies or mainland or LLC companies,
Yeah,
those
I think
companies.
we'll just separate
Yes.
it so that people can
Okay.
easily understand, right?
Okay.
So, you know that there are different legal structures. There are different types of authorities within the UAE. Let's look at the legal structures first, because we have started the talk with the legal structure, right? Like sole proprietor,
Sole
it's a legal
proprietor,
structure, or
exactly.
natural person, right?
Exactly.
So then there is another legal structure which exists, whether it is mainland or free zone. That is called the limited liability company, right? Which is limited by liability, technically.
Exactly.
So when we say, we already discussed previously that if the revenue of any such company is up to 3 million dirhams, and that remains for 3 consecutive tax periods, so they are exempt from paying taxes, right?
Yeah, they can elect themselves under the small and medium company relief, which is actually the federal tax authorities. They have given this relief to those companies,
Correct.
so they can
Yeah,
fall under that.
absolutely. And now, is there any specific, other than this, up to 3 million, right? Do these companies, which are earning up to 3 million dirhams worth of revenue in a year, in a tax period, is there any specific requirement apart from registering and filing the return?
So now here we have two classification, clear classification. One is the company which are from the free zones, the qualifying free zone. The term used in qualifying free zone. Why I'm going into detail, without that we cannot understand. So the definition of the qualifying free zone, maybe we will find a list like VAT. We are expecting, maybe we have a list like in VAT we have designated free zones. Maybe we find a list of qualifying free zones in future, and that qualifying free zone, if it is in between that limit even, you have to do your financial audited, like your financial statement get audited every year. This is mandatory right now. With the companies in the LLC and all those things, all rest of all requirements, like you have to register same on both sides.
Perfect.
For the
No,
free.
I think that's a bit now again becoming very tricky now. So I need to be very specific. I want to be very specific here. So up to 1 million dirhams, again, natural person, no registration requirement, no filing requirement.
Exactly.
Up to 3 million, registration and filing.
Exactly.
But other than that, there is no such requirement for that slab, right?
Exactly.
But as per my knowledge, of course, and experience, by working alongside with you specifically, so what I know that as per the rules, which state that every limited liability company should maintain audited financials, right?
For the free zone companies, under the corporate tax law, for the free zone companies, it's mandatory. For the
No, I'm talking about the company law. I'm not talking about the corporate tax law.
under company law,
Company law, it's mandatory, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
the question is that it has never been asked for.
Yes.
From some
And
authorities
normally, yes,
while
yes,
they are filing their
Exactly.
annual renewal type of stuff,
Yes,
right?
yes,
When
yes.
while renewing, they don't ask. So, for example, if we go to DMCC, Dubai Multi Commodities Center, so they ask
They
for
ask
the financial
on
audit.
every renewal.
Exactly, on every renewal. It's mandatory from their
Yes.
side. DIFC, it's mandatory. A couple of other free zones, of course, that is mandatory. But when it comes to some other free zones, still it is not mandatory. From DED,
Exactly.
they don't ask for it. But it is going to be the case that based on the requirements and law, it is always important. It is always important and advisable that every company which is LLC should actually maintain audited financials, right?
Exactly.
That's what I wanted to clarify this. Now, any company which exceeds from 3 million, so that means it is those companies, whether it is a natural person or specifically whatever the scenario or structure is.
Yes.
So they actually get out of that whole relief structure, right?
Structure, exactly.
So that means any natural person, right, they just need to make sure, they should not be worried about corporate tax. They only need to make sure that they just keep an eye on their revenues.
Exactly.
Whenever they exceed 1 million, they have to register. Whenever they exceed 3 million, they have to register and they have to pay the taxes, right?
Exactly.
And by the way, when they exceed 3 million, so they have to pay for consecutive 3 years, right?
Exactly.
If there was any tax liability in the previous periods as well, so they have to, that becomes a liability.
Liability,
correct?
exactly.
Now, I would have a specific question
small
here.
thing,
Sure.
small thing from my side. So how you can keep an eye on your on this thing?
It's very important. Honestly, people have.
This is important.
Yeah,
Actually.
no,
This
it
is
is
the most
actually.
important thing.
So during the year, there actually, I was about to ask another question here. Accounting become really important here.
Yes,
right.
that's the
Accounting
thing.
become really important, and the life of an accountant is going to be very busy now. Of course,
Exactly.
within the UAE.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited about being an accountant within the UAE at the moment where this big change is happening.
Exactly.
It's really exciting for us, right? And it's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity.
Exactly.
Where we have more learning, more knowledge, more excitements, and like a lot of other things. For businesses like these, they have to make sure that they have the right accounting structure.
Exactly.
They need to make
This
sure
is important.
because I personally have seen there are companies where they cannot even distinguish between the normal income or regular income sometimes. Yeah. Okay. What is the revenue? So, for example, if they are commercial brokers, if they are not supposed to invoice on in some cases, but they do, right?
Exactly.
But out of that, maybe out of that 100 dirham, what they are invoicing, maybe 2% is their revenue,
Revenue.
but 98% is not their revenue, right?
Exactly.
So now they have to start making sure that they do the accounting in the right way.
In the right
correct?
way, exactly.
Now, there is another very important point which comes to my mind and very exciting one. A company which is earning, let's say, in first year, maybe any shop in the Dera, any Satwa, anywhere within Dubai or within the UAE, LLC, maybe a general trading company, maybe heavy equipment supplier, maybe medical suppliers, or any type of company. In their first year, they earn 2.7 million dirham revenue. Okay, no liability, correct? But there is tax liability, but they are exempt from that, right?
Yes, there is tax compliance.
Compliance
You
is there.
have to do the
Absolutely.
compliance. You
So
have to
basically,
register.